Well, thanks, Roger. Preparing for the end of the world as we know it, the apocalypse, a nuclear disaster, a financial collapse. These are situations that so-called doomsday preppers worry about.
That's right, Steve. And there's even a popular TV show on the air featuring preppers from across the country. WMTW News 8's Jim Keithley explores the Maine connection.
When you think of a bomb shelter, you might think of a basement in an old building like where we are right now. This is the bowels of Biddeford City Hall. People may have used this as a shelter at one point in time, but tonight we're going to introduce you to a Maine man who makes modern-day bunkers. Off the beaten path in central Maine, down a remote trail, a local dealership of sorts, but Frank Woodworth isn't selling cars.
The whole theory behind it is we figure it's better to be a year or two early than a few hours late.
These are his standard model underground bunkers, his customers often prepping for a doomsday scenario. The bunkers look like giant oil tanks. They're even labeled stormwater control structure as a decoy.
You know, everyone that I sell to is convinced that things aren't going to continue the way that they are, and that some sort of problem, either an economic disaster or a natural disaster, is going to cause people to have to go into one of these.
And he keeps the identity of his customers close to the vest.
You know, you wouldn't tell me where your favorite hunting spot or fishing spot is, and in the event of a natural disaster or an economic collapse, the person that's prepared is going to be the one that is all of a sudden very popular. The thing that we're looking at now is soundproofing the inside.
He wouldn't say how many of these bunkers he's sold in the 4 years he's been building them, but says fewer than 10 to people who live mostly in Maine and New Hampshire. But we wondered who's buying them.
The people are everyone. Doctors, you know, pilots, thinking about older clientele that we've had in the past.
We climbed through the entrance hatch and down a metal ladder. Even hardwood floors?
No, actually there's cedar.
Oh, okay.
We use cedar because it doesn't rot. We feel that the first thing you need is a bed. The second thing you need is a toilet. We need to work out some kind of a septic system.
On his website, Northeast Bunkers, you can see what they look like fully furnished.
That kitchen and bathroom unit actually fits all right in this corner.
If you're wondering how much these things cost, the basic model, like the one we're standing in, $25,000, and they go up to $40,000 plus, fully loaded. A family of 4 could spend 6 months in this?
Well, it would be tight. You know, it's not the Hilton, but, you know, if it comes to surviving, we feel that they're able to.
Down the road in Augusta, at the Maine Primitive Skills School, Michael Douglas is teaching people how to survive without a bunker.
We break it down. Attitude, shelter, water, fire, and food, in that order.
A class size of 12 will spend 5 days living off the land.
When you come out of an Earth Living 5-day, you know how to go out onto the landscape, in the beginning with a knife, but later on with stone tools, to procure shelter, water, fire, and food.
That pot I'm going to fire next.
There are 30 acres here. The students are people from all walks of life, some of them also worried about the end of the world.
I think the majority of folks are coming here with the idea that they don't want to be dependent upon a system that they might view for one reason or another is unsustainable or fragile or maybe even both.
If and when doomsday ever comes and you don't have the money to buy one of those fancy bunkers, you don't have those survival skills to live in the woods, there's always the basement. We're in Biddeford, Jim Keithley, WMTW News.